All right. So, as the eyes of the world descend, in the lands of Al-Anon, deep within its mountain ranges to the north, the Bordean mountains and canyons, a vast land that Al-Anon is. This part is a bit more secluded. Mountain tribes do not name their homes or cities, but rather walk amongst themselves and discover new places within these endless canyons. However, at the height of both innovation and as well as mortal perseverance, two cities stand well into the northwest of Al-Anon. Annalise Summit, and towards the bottom of its valley, Lightengord. A somewhat wild mountain town, full of farming, cattling, and as well as the unique outlier of those who find themselves looking to settle away from city life. Here, as we go through the town and its many people, its varietals of livelihoods that walk its streets, we find ourselves in a small farm. Here upon the many roads that lead towards the north, a humble home built brick by brick, wood by wood, and person by person. Here in this little farm, as the sun begins to rise from the north, the rays of light, as they pierce through this crosshatch window, as it hits you just right on the face, as it usually does every morning, we find an adventurer in waiting. So you, Arsene, are woken by light in the rather rapid sounds of the cawing of very noisy roosters and the sound of cattle as they begin to make their way across the field. As you awaken and prepare yourself, the morning is yours.
All right. Well, I get up from my little nap and head back towards where the animals are, first and foremost, just to make sure that all of them remain healthy and happy. Probably say hello to some of the barn cats that are roaming around the barn. He has a clear favorite, Felicette, the little tuxedo cat.
Of course. And you also notice a couple of other ones with names. You see a rather sundowning old cat named Clarence, as he kind of prefers not to be bothered. You see as well as Welly and Joshua, and as well as Catmageddon, a rather chaotic little one.
Oh my goodness, the cat. Yes.
Each one of varying types and species within the cat varietals, but they do find themselves quite welcome to your presence. For the sake of it, go ahead and roll me an animal handling check with advantage, given that you have you've dealt with all the farm animals many a times before and their temperance.
Starting off with the most wholesome roll.
Yeah. Okay. You, of course, take to making sure that all the animals are taken care of in the best possible way. All of them are fed, all of them are tended to, and you find yourself spending pretty much all of your morning kind of just defeated by the energy necessary to take care of them before having to do the usual farmhand work.
Yes, and by the way, for the viewers who cannot see my rolls, I did get a natural 20.
Yes, I usually don't tell anybody. I let you guys tell what happened in your rolls. I just tell you what happens after the roll.
Okay.
So, as the sun makes its highest point towards the afternoon, you hear as the footsteps as they leave the house. You can see as your father, as he begins to stride over to the barnyard area and hopes to find you. As he speaks, "Son, boy, where are you?"
Here, father.
As he rounds about, you can see your father, the light blonde hair, the kind of the orangey eyes, much like yours. And you can see that he is carrying a couple of books along with him. Much as I understand that you enjoy the hard labor around here, your lessons do also take priority as well. Here, new books.
He would take a look at what kinds of books there are this time.
They are the pair of books that come in into your possession. One that is more regarded towards the North End history of Excelsium and much of its more recent events, kind of a quick recorded history. The author themselves, as well as the many others that kind of like follow along it, are kind of a quick list, but it might be a good read considering that it's of a land that you are unfamiliar with. And the second book is pretty much the average like understanding of arithmetic and basic mathematics that lead into a bit more economics towards the end.
He's definitely grimacing at the second one.
As your father like kind of reads your face quite easily. Mathematics are important, boy. You need to learn these things if you intend to take care of the farm in the future. You do not wish to be underbidded or outsold by those who might take advantage of kind nature around here.
I know, father. Everyone has their favorites and least favorite subjects is all.
You see, he is not amused.
I think our son would kind of cower back a little bit, just like, he understands the message. A joke is not welcome.
Your studies are important, just as much as the farm animals, and just as much as what future might hold in store for you. I will not have my son be a ne'er-do-well.
Yes, sir.
As he puts a hand on your shoulder, I care for you deeply.
He nods, considering that he hasn't always felt like that. Felt like his father valued him for who he is.
Once you are done with your lessons, we will perform our usual sword fighting. And today I would prefer that you put on your armory.
Oh, yes, sir. He seems a little uneasy about that, but he hasn't exactly been one to challenge his father's suggestions very much.
Very good. Go study.
He is going to take those books, and there isn't exactly any secret that he's going to read the first one, the history one, the one that he's going to enjoy a lot more.
Yeah, as you spend the next couple of hours researching Celsium and much of its more recent history, the arrival of Anindria being the more prevalent thing, a city built in the past 10 years that is now flourishing and alive. The rather known history of what is called the old ways, the long abandoned thought process, especially those who were once banned from Celsium, specifically that of infernal-born blood. In due time, it had come to be revealed that many lessons have been taken, especially by a particular family known as the Idlewinds, and how they had helped reshape Celsium as it is today, especially in leading not only diplomatic efforts, but also changing the perspective of infernal blood throughout the country. Albeit, as of current, there is a couple of holdouts in terms of the Four Kingdoms of Celsium, but many of them are well and respected, especially for the city-states, as they only follow the law of the Sultan. In mathematics, I need you to make me an intelligence check.
Okay. Just pure ability check?
Yes.
Cool. Alright, that's not bad.
Okay, not too bad. You find yourself kind of, like, dozing a bit at having to just look at hard numbers and trying to understand, like, metaphors and trying to, like, cram a lot of this stuff in. Like, yeah, you kind of get it, and a lot of it does make sense, and learning how to balance books as well as understanding value of things, it does bore you quite quickly. You can feel, like, the tears under your eyes by how many times you've yawned at this point. But alas, your time for studying comes to an end, and you go and get ready for what are your combat lessons for the day. As you open the closet that kind of has this astounding and beautiful black plated armor set, and as well as its helmet. Next to it is a beautiful sword. Wonderfully crafted and kind of honed through many of the blacksmiths that do live here within Lowbondle. Or Lightengard, sorry. Lowbondle's all the way in the south. Sorry.
I think Arsene, every time Arsene looks at this set of armor, he feels some degree of unease. He is very aware that this is his father's old armor, and of course, he is now at the age that in which it fits him. But this, this armor is very beautiful and ornate for a reason. This is a noble's armor, his father's old life, as it were, and it has normally would not have any place on a farm boy such as himself.
Its weight is relevant not just only by its history and the design, but also the weight of what it is. It's heavy, but you can move in it like nobody else in a weird way. You have a natural farm boy strength to you that makes this so much easier compared to those who are probably just starting out and learning how to do combat and armor.
Thank the gods for that.
As you descend out and you find yourself in the combat area that your father had built here long ago, where he continues to do even his own practicing. He has reduced himself to heavy chainmail and gambeson, as well as these thick, heavy combat gloves, and what is to be and noticeably a live sword, and these blades are truly sharp. And as you walk in, there is the kind of tinge of a smile that you can notice for a second, but you're not sure if it's the trick of the helm or if it's simply a unnecessary amount of pride in you.
Either way, he's uneasy about that.
Yeah. Fits you well, yes?
Well, physically, sure. But, I don't know. It's quite difficult to explain, Father.
What is difficult about it?
I mean, I know that you try your best to instill your whatever lessons you can. It's just that, it just feels, for the lack of a better word, too fancy for me.
As he walks over to you, and he places a hand on the kind of the sunburst design on your chest. This heraldry, this mark, was not its original mark.
What do you mean?
It doesn't. I changed many things. My life, what it is I wanted, and at the end of the day, even this, where I had left behind many things. For every good possible reason. You are one of them.
It doesn't matter how fancy the work is. You, Ananka, you wear this mark with pride.
I will try, sir. Did
Very good.
Mother wear something like this as well?
You see as he kind of
Yes.
just that pause.
It is the one she wore.
He frowns at the implication that, he mentioned that this armor was slightly altered, and what his father just said about, wearing, Arsene now wearing a very similar armor to his mother. It's exactly the kind of sore spot that he's been enduring for quite some time in his life.
Well then. We shall begin.
As he takes a few steps back.
I will show you the first method, and then we will go from there.
Yes, sir.
And your father, as he prepares you, he teaches you many of the tactics and moves over again, going over the basics. And then you find yourself getting tired as the hours begin to pass. It wears you out quite quickly, to a point of near frustration. Your father seemingly has not lost his breath even in the slightest.
Strength is not everything, son, I can assure you that. Catch your breath.
He will set aside his sword and not really say much because there's no use in venting his frustrations in front of his father. That being said, I think, let's see. Around what time of day is it right now?
It is late afternoon. It's pushing towards the evening.
Would it be a longer training session than usual, do you think?
Oh yes, very certainly.
Oh, like by a good margin.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, if that's the case, then Arsene would in fact speak up and say, Father, with all due respect, it's almost time for supper.
We needn't worry about that. Your training comes first.
But can we not continue this another day? Why have we been outdoors?
You see as he turns around and looks at you sharply.
I said training comes first today.
For what occasion, Father?
There is no occasion.
He tries to turn around to quote unquote catch his breath, as it were. He would for a moment just sit nearby to take a rest, and then he would just glance over and attempt to insight check his father.
By all means.
Okay.
He looks mildly frustrated, to say the very least, but...
Okay, that's 13.
He seems antsier than usual. And as you go to look at your father, you hear a voice as it echoes through the noise of the forest and the sound of the farm animals. Hello there.
I'm out of eyesight. I'm out of eye shot of these people, right?
Yeah, you can hear the voice, and you see as your father, as he looks over, he looks at you as if to say, "Get out of here."
Arsene looks extremely puzzled. He really doesn't understand anything about what's so abnormal about today, so he would admittedly stand there a little confused, and then just, dash off, like when his father is very serious about, like something like, don't make me repeat myself, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And as you begin to dash off and walk away, you do catch a figure in this opulent coat and a kind of wide-rimmed hat. And you begin to kind of like slightly hear the conversation. I was wondering if I can have a moment of your time. And you continue on before even the look can even catch you, as your father continues to stare at you to leave.
He's going to reluctantly step into the woods.
Okay. And as you do, excuse me. As you step in, you find that the sun begins to set to the south. You begin to hear as the winds from the high mountains begin to push through the forest at exceptional speed. You notice as the sun begins to set, as twilight begins to claim the south, you take note to the silence. And you begin to hear as a footstep, as a snap of a twig comes right behind you.
I would like to assume that, given the tense nature of the situation, he had his helm on at the time of this happening. But he turns around and says, "Who's there?"
And as you do, you notice a kind of dark cloaked figure with what looks like to be this kind of like skullish mask, as they had a dagger almost unprofessionally pointed towards your back, like they were trying to genuinely sneak up on you.
Oh, no. Arsene, at that point in time, at this point in his life, has only, I would imagine, only largely trained with a weapon, in the context of it being a training. So, he does not, he doesn't hesitate to, grab for his longsword, but, he's definitely shaken by, what's happening.
And as you grab your blade, he, in full fear, surprisingly jumps at you with his own knife. And he rolls a 8 as the knife gleams off of the side of your armor. And he's like, shut!
Yep, and 8 is nowhere near close.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he is going to let's see. He's going to use thaumaturgy to make himself louder and a lot more intimidating to this guy. As he just snarls, "Who are you? What do you want with me?"
And as you do, go ahead and roll me an intimidation check.
Okay. Intimidation. That's a 18.
You scare the shit out of this guy, and he goes, oh, and he kind of backs away in fear, frightened of you. Just die very quietly, and this will all be over.
Can you attempt to disarm? Let me double check. Let's see.
I believe there is a disarming strike. I believe.
Okay. Let me.
It is considered a maneuver.
Yeah, I just shared the description into the chat.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So I just do an attack roll, right?
See, the target must make a strength or dexterity throw against your maneuver DC.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Okay. So you go to disarm them. Mm-hmm. They roll a natural 1 as they go and lunge the blade, and with your longsword, just with a simple ping, it just...
Arsene is going to kick the dagger as far away from his assailant as possible, and he's going to continue to speak with thaumaturgy. Who are you with? Where are you coming from? What do you want with me? Why do you want to kill me?
It's not me that I'm just supposed to kill. Well, it's not you I'm just supposed to kill. There's
What?
another man I'm also supposed to kill.
What? Who? Speak!
You see as every time it's louder in his ears. I don't know, someone named Ankar.
He immediately realizes his father's in danger, but he can't, at the same time, he can't just leave this guy just there. At the same time, he does not have the drive to kill anyone. I wonder if he's able to do a non-lethal strike on this guy, just to please.
Yeah,
disable him.
You see as he continues to babble, a man and a woman, both named Ankar, at least their surname. The woman, Indra,
Yeah. I think as far as Arsene is, panicked Arsene is concerned, that's literally all he needs to hear, and he just rashly just knocks this guy out and starts tries to knock this guy out anyway. Before.
Make an attack roll.
Yes.
For me. Yes.
Okay. Actually, about that. Okay, that would be a 1d. Wait. Yeah, that's a 1d or 1d20 plus 6 for me, right? Okay.
Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's a nat 1.
As you go and you try and bat him over the head, you see as he dodges out of the way, and in pure fear, he begins to run behind and make a beeline out towards the north of this place.
Okay, in terms of direction relative to where we are right now, is north back towards the farm?
No, it is, the farm is back, south.
Okay, well, if that's the case, yeah, his dad's in immediate danger. He needs to go back.
Yeah. As you begin to book it back, you're kind of just ripping through the forest, just almost clawing at some point, as you can just feel as branches break as you move through your armor. And you begin to see in the distance a faint tungsten orangey glow of fire. And as you begin to make your way through the tree line, you can see as several figures are in combat. And you can see as your father just, as one sword blow, he gleans another, and another goes to attack him, and he cuts the leg as your father falls into the ground. He looks up and he sees you at the tree line. And you see as he goes to reach out towards you. And you see as a massive blade, as it strikes him through the back and into the ground.
No, 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 no.
And it isn't just even the sight of your father, as you see as he begins to lose the consciousness and he begins to fade. You see, as well as the fire of the farm, animals being burned alive.
Our son's seeing red. How many people are here doing all of this?
There's about 5 of them that you can immediately see around the farm. They all seem cut and scuffed up as if your father fought to the last. But you can see in one of the windows of the farms, you see his Clarence as it stares at you. Old and accepting of the flames as it consumes this senior cat, as it just fades into the flames.
I think seeing that, our son looks at the if these assailants have been cut up to the extent that they are, he thinks to a moment that maybe, just maybe, he'll throw themselves at them and then, take down like several of them in a bid for revenge. However, at the same time, he looks back at the fire, see if there's literally anything or any animal that he can save. And
you can see some of the cats have escaped and have begun to huddle and run towards the trees. Your favorite one is alive.
Okay, and you said the assailants have noticed me or no?
They haven't noticed you yet, but you can see as some are kind of looking and barking orders. There's a rather large one. The one that had killed your father, and what looks like to be this kind of massive blade with no hilt on it. It's just this huge piece of metal that kind of chevrons down to a point and then has this kind of half crescent pommel. And it is wrapped in what looks like to be some kind of lighter leather.
Our son is going to commit as much of that sword to memory, as well as much of each individual's faces as he can in this dark environs, before he turns around and tries to run towards whatever farm animal, whatever cat that he can save at this point.
Yeah. As you run and as you duck and you grab hold of your favorite cat, as well as another one as it kind of like jumps up on you and like clings with the claws. You can't feel it, but they're holding on for dear life. And then you see as several heads snap in your general direction. There she is, get him! Or get her!
Yes, go ahead.
In pure fear and adrenaline, you feel something well as your chest feels fuller than it can be, as something feels like it pushes out through into your back as these massive wings begin to take shape, spectral, golden, and tinged at their edges.
I don't even think that really fully registers to him at this point in time. All he cares about is running, just continuing to, let these foul wastes of space, just their faces, their swords, commit them to memory, so that, he, at some point, someday, he's going to make sure that he flays them alive. But also, he is protecting whatever he can carry at this point. These two cats. How he manages to get out just does not matter to him. He maybe feels light on his feet, but that's something to worry about later.
As you begin to run at full speed, your mind narrows to escape. And escape, and escape, and escape, and you feel as suddenly you are in the air. As you can't even begin to comprehend or understand where this comes from, as you are wildly flying through the sky, as you begin to head towards the west. As you begin to fly even further and you begin to see as the mountainside gets closer, you feel as weight is suddenly beginning to kind of return a bit, and you begin to drop and further as in an instant you feel as though gravity makes sense again, and you find yourself falling through the sky and kind of flipping about before right into the side of the mountain.
As he sees that he's about to crash, he tries to shield the cat that he's actively holding, and he's going to. Yeah. I guess the other one is just hanging onto his back, so that cat doesn't really, feel the full impact of what's going on.
All right. And as you do, you black out. Your consciousness fades in and out before you hear as heavy footfalls into snow kind of crushing as these cats are kind of like huddled up against you, and you hear a voice. No, I have no ill intent. As suddenly you feel as though your helmet is removed and you can kind of just see the dark world as light does not make sense on this mountainside, as a kind of darkly masked figure as it kind of looks at you.
Well, well. I'm afraid that I might have made a mistake.
Who are you? What do you want with me?
Oh, don't worry.
As he takes your helmet and he puts it back onto your head and you fits it.
Good night.
And you suddenly feel as your consciousness fades away again.
Was he able to see any feature of this man who was talking to him?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Far too
okay.
dark. It is as though the night masks them. And your consciousness fades in and out again as the sound of dragged metal, very angry little kitties. And then you feel as though you are thrown hard against stone steps. As it's just... And you see as you look over, with what little light you can see this kind of gold lining on the bottom of the jacket as you hear the thump of fist on wood, just...
Annalise, you have another one.
Before the figure steps over you again.
We'll speak again someday, I'm sure of it. But until such time, stay alive.
For almost as if the sweeping of snow kind of folds over the visor of your helmet, and as you go to wipe it away, it is already gone. And you hear as the door opens and your vision fades again. A year passes. Since that night, you found yourself at the kind benevolence of the proprietor of this summit city, Lady Annalise. Rather gentle woman. Pious and patient. On this day, it is warm enough to be outside in order to continue training, as you find yourself at the practicing dummy again, your blade skills more exceptional than before. Your strength has grown. And your focus more damning. as you continue hitting the side of each of the practicing dummy, you hear a gentle voice like a bell ring in a snowstorm. Have my sermons truly bored you?
Oh, my lady, hello. I'm sorry, I just needed, some fresh air. I hope you understand. I do apologize.
I ask not that you hold yourself to the oath and tenets of our faith, but I ask at least that you hear them.
Yes, my lady. At once, and he'll, you know,
She raises a hand. You need not come inside. The sermon is over.
Oh. He worries that, as far as he's concerned, this woman, he owes this woman his life. And, he has, for the past year, tried to do whatever he could to repay her kindness, but, kind of like in a similar way as he felt around his father, where, even a little bit of disappointment weighs a little heavy on Arsene. It's likewise with Lady Annalise.
You know, she is probably one of the most forgiving people. At times where even the most harshest words you have spoken to with her have often been met with kindness and respect and patience.
Mm-hmm.
As she gently walks over towards what looks like to be the edge that leads down to Orifheim, you can see that city in the far-off fields, and towards the bottom of the valley, that metropolis, that beautiful place, and all of its horrid nature.
Mm.
As she looks to see as the trail has been made clear, but there is a look at the side of the mountain as if certain dangers could befall those should things get too loud around here. I understand that your training comes near to its end. I would hope that many of the lessons that you have learned are not only just to use your words, but to seek out mercy, those who are more deserving of it.
I can only try. I can only promise to try. If I may ask for your wisdom, my lady. I was outside today because it's been a year since my father's death. And try as I may have, I don't know if I can forgive what happened to my father. I look this way towards Orifheim. He was from there, and before he met my mother. And I know my father and we didn't necessarily always see eye to eye, but it's occurred to me multiple times over the past year that I had severely underappreciated how much he cared for me. So I'm sorry. After I missed the sermons, I doubt that you...
You think so quickly. I'm not angry, nor do I expect your appreciation. I accept it. It makes you a good person. What I concern for is your soul. Do you know what this place used to be called?
Would he know?
You would. It used to be called White Dragon Summit.
Okay. Yeah. It used to be called White Dragon Summit, no?
Yes. Named after the one white dragon that had sought to betray his tyrannical queen and side with that of the old Dragon King. He saw patience and wisdom and kindness and as well as mercy. For every time that dragons have ever sought to usurp power or sought to destroy in these lands, they were met with much more violent force in return. When dragons found out that mortals can kill them by turning their own teeth, their scales, their claws, their sinew and bodies, that was a cruelty that the dragons could not even have begun to imagine. Cruel violence will beget cruel violence. Mercy and peace have always been the bastion of their wisdom. And as such is why this place stands the way it does. We do not start wars with Ordofheim or have squabbles with those in Lightengord. That old dragon had left behind a legacy of peace. I would hope one day you will learn from that. But alas, I cannot control you. You will have to decide if whether or not mercy or vengeance is your path and your path alone.
I thank you for your wisdom, milady. I can only imagine my parents would also want me to choose mercy. I just admittedly still struggle with the idea that what kind of a son would I be if I at least didn't try to seek justice, if that makes sense.
Justice is much more different than vengeance. As she puts a hand on your shoulder, one day you will leave this place with a pair of twin flames, with a healer, with one who is born of ice and one who was born long before any of our time. So says the star. You need only but be patient.
I'm sorry, did they say when that would happen?
The star works in mysterious ways.
I see. As a player, I would like to ask, I did hear the angry cats. Did the cats survive?
Yes, the cats did survive. They found themselves kind of in a new home, rather lazying about within the cathedral here. But this home, a church built in reverence to the old dragon god Bahamut. Now, who had taken his place, as all that do know, is his son, Metalius. Heavy is the crown. You may continue your practicing. I will prepare for supper tonight.
Thank you, milady.
And you see, as she walks off, this cloak of almost light snow color, but her hair, the pointed ears, it very much tells to a elven ancestry, the long silver, and the eyes as icy silver as her hair, before finally descending back into the cathedral. As you go and turn, you place your blade back onto the dummy, and you whack one side, and whack on the other side. You begin to see the top end begins to kind of like almost come a little loose, as if you feel like with another couple of strong hits, this thing will come off quite quickly. And you want to see how far that goes. As with a full powered swing, you hit the bottom and you send the top flying up and over the mountainside. And you kind of just follow it. And then as it hits the top of a small set of rocks, you see one begin to fall over, and then it hits the side of the mountain as it displaces a ton of snow. And then more of the rocks begin to tumble over and displaces even more of the snow. And you begin to see the build of an avalanche. As you look down to the trail, you notice a couple of Ven Reavers and a pulled cart.
Oh no!
As it begins to barrel down towards them, they won't make it to the clearing from where you're standing.
Okay. Okay, so would you say that he would theoretically make it if he were to use his celestial revelation to just fly down there?
You would make it halfway. You would have to run through the rest of the trail, but you're worried that those people might get pushed off the mountainside.
Oh yeah, he's not letting that slide, especially when it's his fault. He's gonna try to fly down and just, sprint as fast as possible. And if he does make it there, he does have, I do plan on him casting warding barrier to at least give half cover to those people. How many people are there?
From what you can see, it's a full, the carriage is not known to be full. Having to make any trip up here, especially on a Ven Reaver, would often freeze up those engines as they begin to slow down even further. And some kind of kick. You notice that one is in a sidecar and is kind of running over to start trying to push the carriage, but it becomes too late by the time you make it down to the road, and you are rushing your way over as you see as the entirety of the snow kind of piles at the bottom and then goes over and then completely covers the entirety of the riders and the carriage, with no sight of them falling down the mountainside, as you just run up to see a massive pile of snow now blocking the road.
Oh, gods, no. Let's see. Yeah, let me double check to see if there's literally anything that I can do aside from physically digging through the snow. Okay. I mean, okay. Hear me out. So he has okay, so I know it's create or destroy water specifically. However,
snow is water.
Yeah, snow. Yeah, so basically my reasoning is like, snow is water, so he's gonna try to destroy up to 10 gallons of water.
Yep. As you cast Destroy Water, it completely removes a good chunk away as it disperses in a hot steam, and you see as it kind of melts the walls a bit as well. And then as you continue to do it again, and it just another chunk, and it is just you at this point digging away and trying to push as much of it as you can, as you just start putting armfuls of snow and just and at a certain point you begin to hear a voice casually talking. And then there is a break as your armored arm, as it goes through, feel a void before kind of, and as you do, almost as if a perfect dome has surrounded these people. As you stand there, you take note as to every individual here. Some looking mildly frustrated, others looking relieved. I think that is where we're going to go ahead and end today's session.
Oh, lovely.